The house is shrouded in darkness, and the silence of the night is absolute, except for a faint, rhythmic whirring coming from a small cage in the corner. Inside, a tiny creature no larger than a human palm is moving with the intensity of an Olympic athlete. Its little paws are a blur of motion, hitting the plastic surface of a spinning wheel with tireless precision. This hamster is not just playing, it is driven by an ancient, invisible force that compels it to run for hours on end. While its human owner's dream, this miniature explorer is completing a journey that would span several miles in the open world, driven by a biological clock that never hits the pause button. It is a frantic, focused, and secret life that transforms a cuddly pet into a high-endurance survivalist under the cover of moonlight. To understand why a hamster spends its nights in a state of constant motion, one must look far beyond the confines of a glass tank and into the harsh landscapes of the wild steppes and deserts of Syria and Mongolia. In their natural habitat, hamsters are not the sedentary fluffballs we see during the day. They are prey animals at the bottom of the food chain, which has forced them to evolve a very specific set of survival tactics. One of these is their strictly nocturnal lifestyle. By staying underground during the scorching heat of the day, they avoid the eyes of hawks and eagles. When the sun vanishes, the hamster emerges. But the need for food is great, and the resources are scattered. A wild hamster may travel several miles in a single night just to gather enough seeds, grains, and insects to fill its massive cheek pouches. This nomadic instinct is hardwired into their DNA. Even after generations of being bred in captivity, the domestic hamster still carries the brain of a desert traveler. When a hamster wakes up at dusk, its body is flooded with a surge of energy designed to fuel a long-distance foraging expedition. In a cage, there are no vast plains to cross and no predators to outrun, but the energy has nowhere to go. The wheel serves as a vital psychological and physical outlet. Without it, the hamster would succumb to extreme stress and even physical illness. The running is not a choice, it is a fundamental requirement of their being, a way to satisfy a primitive urge to move, explore, and survive. The sheer scale of their nightly exercise is staggering when compared to their body size. If a human were to run a proportional distance based on the mileage a hamster covers on its wheel, they would be running multiple marathons every single night. Some hamsters have been recorded running up to 5 or even 8 miles in a 12-hour period. Their hearts are built for this endurance, beating hundreds of times per minute to pump oxygen to their tiny, powerful legs. This intense activity also helps regulate their metabolism and keeps their body temperature stable. For the hamster, the wheel is the equivalent of the open horizon, a treadmill that allows them to fulfill their evolutionary destiny without ever leaving the safety of their nest. However, the secret life of a hamster involves more than just physical exertion. It is also a display of remarkable spatial awareness. Despite their poor eyesight, hamsters use their long whiskers and an acute sense of smell to navigate. On the wheel, they often stop abruptly, sniff the air, and then resume their sprint. Researchers believe that even though the wheel stays in one place, the hamster's brain may be processing the movement as a true journey. They are mentally mapping a territory that does not exist, driven by a cognitive program that tells them that safety and food are always just a few more miles ahead. This mental engagement is crucial for their well-being, as a bored hamster can become destructive, chewing on cage bars or showing signs of repetitive pacing. There is also a fascinating social element to this secret life. While many species of hamsters are solitary and will fight if housed together, their nocturnal activity is a signal to the world around them. In the wild, the sounds of scuttling and the scent marks left behind during these long runs tell other hamsters about territory boundaries and mating inability. In the domestic setting, the wheel becomes the center of their universe. It is their sanctuary and their gym. Observations have shown that even wild mice, when provided with a wheel in nature, will voluntarily climb onto it and run for fun. This suggests that the act of running itself provides a neurological reward, perhaps releasing chemicals in the brain similar to the runner's high experienced by humans. The pouches of the hamster play a supporting role in this nightly drama. Even when running on a wheel, a hamster will often fill its cheeks with bedding or hidden food bits. This is a safety measure. If a predator were to appear, the hamster would be ready to flee with its most precious resources packed away. Watching a hamster run with bulging cheeks is a glimpse into a life of constant preparation. They are always ready for a move, always ready for a change in the environment, and always fueled by a deep-seated anxiety that the current food source might vanish at any moment. As the first light of dawn begins to creep through the windows, the whirring of the wheel finally slows down. The tiny marathoner slows to a halt, grooms its face with quick, jerky movements, and retreats into its burrow of shredded paper and wood shavings. The secret journey is over for now. To the human waking up, the hamster is just a sleeping ball of fur, but the tiny heartbeat and the worn surface of the wheel tell a different story. It is a story of a desert wanderer living in a modern world, a creature that travels the distance of a city every night just to stay true to its ancient roots. The mystery of the wheel is the mystery of survival itself, proving that even the smallest life is governed by grand, unstoppable instincts.